This week's project is our Spookhouse Project. We're going to need several things: color pencils, charcoal, Sharpie, regular pencils, some printouts, and our background drawing paper. We're going to start by doing the same technique that we practiced with our leaves. But first we need to choose which haunted house we want to do. You're going to be tracing this haunted house. So pick one that you love the best, that you know you can trace. So just like we did with the leaves, we're going to shade the back of our spook house, getting as much graphite on the back of it as we can. Make sure you have a regular pencil for this, as a mechanical one will not work. I taped my picture down to my background so that it didn't slippy slide around while I'm trying to trace it. And I'm just tracing all of the lines and the shapes slowly. You can lift it up and make sure everything transferred on before peeling it off. And once I take the paper off, I can see I have all my lines and shapes to my spook house. You can see all of those up close there. Now, the next thing we want to do is to trace over those so that we know where they are, because it was kind of light. So I'm just going back over the lines with my pencil, making sure I can see them, making sure all the parts of the house are standing out. Once we have all of our lines traced, we're now going to find the values. Value in art, it's the art element that describes lights, mediums, and darks in a work of art. It's what makes works of art look three-dimensional on a 2D surface. So everywhere it's super dark in the picture, I'm gonna really put a lot of pressure and darken those areas in. Everywhere it's sort of medium, I'm gonna add a little less pressure, sort of coloring those spaces in. And everywhere that it's bright, I'm barely gonna put any pencil onto my house drawing. Now we're gonna blend using a tissue. I'm gonna wrap it around my finger and just sort of smudge, pushing the graphite around and into the paper, smudging it, trying to get rid of those scribbly lines that were made by me coloring in the house. So notice how the harder you push, it sort of smudges and all that graphite gets down into the paper fibers and just looks really smooth and really blendy and cool. Now we are going to use our eraser to get back some of those bright areas. Because of all that smudging, it sort of kind of got into all the bright areas. So I'm just going to use my eraser and get back some of those highlights so that those parts of the house stand out and everything doesn't all look one value. So just erasing the bright areas, cleaning it up any scratchy, messy spots, making it look a little more neat. All right, and this is what we have. You can see dark, medium, and light values in the house. Now we're going to be doing our background. So we're going to use color pencil shading techniques for our background. I chose 3 colors that I knew would blend well together. So I'm using a cool color scheme, a dark blue, a purple, and a light blue. And I'm just sort of turning the pencil on its side and trying to blend those colors together. Just sort of pushing around all the way down to wherever you are going to put your land around your house. So just blending these, overlapping them, coloring them nicely and blending them together. Now I'm going to use a charcoal pencil to put the land around my house. I'm going to outline the house because charcoal is super smudgy and smoky. So I'm first going to try and blend my background colors together so that it doesn't look so scribbly or scratchy. And now I'm going to smudge that charcoal and make the ground in the house look really smudgy and sort of smoky and creepy. There, now we have our land, our sky, and our house. The last part is just to add some creepy details. Now you can add whatever details that you want. I'm using that charcoal pencil again. I will say this charcoal pencil is very messy, so be careful when you're using it. Maybe have another paper underneath. You can put a scratch paper underneath your hand while you use it because it will get all over you. It's really awesome because it blends so well and smudges, but super messy. So I'm making my tree starting from the trunk going up. A tree gets thinner as it goes out, so the branches should be thicker towards the trunk and get thinner as they go out away from the trunk. There's my creepy tree. And you can add whatever details you want, remember, as long as you have some of your own creative details in your project. I'm going to add a fence in the background, and then I'm going to add some bats in the sky. And these are my details. I hope you have fun with this project, being spooky and creative and using multiple art mediums. I love this project. Can't wait to see what you make.